Good day, guys. In this video we are going to be looking at while loop. Okay, so while loop also is we also use it to repeat a process, and there is a part, there is a logic behind how we would implement that. And the first is the while loop checks the condition before executing the code inside the loop. Now, if the condition is true, the code inside the loop will be executed. If the condition is false, the loop will terminate. So I'm going to eventually make a comparison between while loop and for loop later, but then let's go right ahead to um, learn the syntax. Remember, in programming, you are writing a language, and then you have to be able to know how to express the language in text or in words or whatsoever. So to write a for loop, you have the while keyword, then a parenthesis opening and closing, and then a curly brace. Now the curly brace is also opening and closing. And where do I have the condition? Remember, in for loop we had initialization, condition, and then increment. So this is where the condition will be. The condition is going to be here, and the code that we want to execute, will be here. Okay, so that is that. So the first thing is we need to check the condition. So the first thing is we check the condition. So one, the condition is evaluated. Okay, the condition is evaluated, and then if the condition is true, if true, okay, code inside, if true, the code inside is executed. Okay, so just so we don't waste time, I would what I would do is I would just try to have the list here. All right, so this is the third second row. Okay, and then the fourth one. So let's write some code. All right, so now what do we want to do now? Of course, we are going to do the same thing. We want to log, let's use the let keyword. We want to um, log from 0 to 10, from 0 to 10. So we have our variable. Of course, the condition that we are going to be having here is going to be, we are going to be using a variable in that condition. So let's just define the condition, or let me just put it in this order. Let's say I want a condition such that um, there's a way I would teach you how to read a while condition, which it has been helpful. So let's say I want to write a while loop to log out from 0 to 10, or 0 to, yeah. So I would say, as long as when I'm counting I do not exceed 10, keep logging out my result. So how do I say that? As long as a variable, so I'm going to use a variable for that. I say maybe I can call the variable count. As long as count is not up to 10, or is not greater than 10, so that means that count will be less than 10. As long as count is not greater than 10, that it will be less than 10. So for me to be able to use count here, this variable is undefined. I have to define it here. So count is going to start from 0. So this still follows the for loop. Is similar to when I said initialization. I have to be fast about this. initialization, then the condition, and then the increment. Okay, and then I said our code goes here. Code goes here. Then I told you that for loop. Okay, so let's just leave this. Let's put all this one below this. Okay, let's put them below here, and then let's comment them out. All right. So what do I want to do? As long as my count is less than, sorry, for you to get to 10, it must be less than 11. So I would say console log, console log count. And then when I console log count, remember, it's just the same idea. There is a point where we initialize, where we are starting from. There is the condition, and there is the increment. The increment in for while loop, that what make us progress in the repetition is by adding, either we are incrementing or decrementing. So we are going to be add, for we to be able to count 0, 1, 2. So by what unit is that increment? That's by 1 unit, which is the same as saying count equals to count plus 1, which we all know as count plus plus, right? So let us console log this now. So the reason, so let's console log this. Let's clear this and then console log it. Okay. Sorry, I have this written up here. So let's. All right. Okay. So you see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, why did I put this console log here? If I put this console log below, this follows, the code is read from top to bottom. It means that before I can read what is here, this count would have increased, so I won't be able to see 0. It will start from 1. So let's just see that. So you see this case, and then I have 11. Why do I have 11? Because at the point at which this is 10, when 10 is less than 11 is read, it comes in here, it reads this and increase 10 by 11, and then it logs 11. And then by the time it comes up here and it sees that 11 is less than 11, which is false, it doesn't run this code again. So you can see that this ought to be the right way. I need to rearrange it. Well, with practice you would know how you need to do the ordering, but then this is just a demonstration of while loop. Now, what if I initially I wrote my code this way. Now if I write the code this way and I run it, you see that it will not get to 10, it will get to 9. And that's because I've said that as long as the count is less than 10. So I could also say as long as the count is equal to 10 and less than. So how do I represent that? Equal or less than. I can put an equality sign here to represent that. So when I run it, it will get to 10 now. So you see. So I can either use 11 and then adjust this condition, or use 10, adjust the condition. So what if I want it to increase by 2, for every time that for every time I'm counting, I want to increase it by 2. Okay, so I can do it this way. I can say count equals to count plus 2, and I can also say count plus equal 2. And then when I run this, so you see it starts with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, so this will be the end of this lesson. If you have any question, feel free to ask. So once again, before I put an end to this, for for loop, we'll need to check the condition is evaluated first. If it is true, we'll run the code that is inside. That's if 0 is less than 10, we'll run this code. Then what else are we going to do? After the code inside the loop is executed, the condition is evaluated again. So 0 here increased to 2, and then we come to the condition again. Is 2 less than or equal to 10? True. So 2 will come in here, we'll increase it again by 2, that's 4. And then we repeat the process until the condition is false. When will the condition be false? By the time we get, when this is 8 and this comes in here and it increase to 10, and we are coming back again to this condition, 10 is less than or equal to 10, which is true because 10 is equal to 10, that code will run. So as soon as that code run and the 10 gets here, it become 12. So it's at that 12 that the code will not, the condition will be false, and then we exit the while loop. All right, thank you very much for your time.